What's up? I'm on Rohan, all that good stuff. My day is going pretty good. Hopefully yours is. Can always leave a comment on that if you wish. Seeing chances for a monumental change. Being able to tell if it is a good or a bad change. Knowing at points maybe you may not have to remain the same. But then again, maybe you do. Just depends on what it is that happens to come to you. Depends upon how it is that it works. For such things, there are many ways that it works. Even if it is maybe you do not see it, there's easy ways that you can learn to see it. By having a positive attitude for starters. Regardless what it is, that is the issue for starters. No matter if it is a chance to be better, or it is something that you're weary under the weather. A chance for a change, or a chance to remain the same. A decision that only you can make upon this day. Even when it seems there is no other way. If it is, you focus properly. You can see through. But it is, at that point, you may not see properly. Think of how many times you did not notice something. Because of the attitude you had, you did not notice that something. A chance to change it for what it is, or to keep it the same. Is it good, regardless which way you pick that day? Is it something that it's hard to tell? So many chances in front of you. Do you account them well? Do you pay attention to comments? For ones that do not have the right to say such comments. Or ones that have not tried to succeed. Or ones that do not wish for you to succeed. A chance to leave it the same. A chance to be in the midst of change. Relative force behind such things. Depending on what it is you have said and declare upon such things. Regardless, flesh or not, amongst these things. Is your no, no, and your yes, yes? Do you show your actions for what it is that you say and do? Even in the midst of such things. Regardless what it is, the struggle amongst these things. A new mindset is what it is that is needed. For without that, you cannot see the times as far as moving forward, or these times that matter most while it is that you're moving forward, or you cannot see a shift in the winds. As it is, the winds begin to change. This is ability for what it is that you could, if you wished, change. Or you decide to remain the same. Can you tell when it is that you need to change? Can you tell when it is that, because of the circumstance, if it is a bad one and you wish a different, are you willing to make new habits that might be different? Ones that help you to succeed in your field or whatever it is, success you wish to be. Or is that something hard to see? Seeing the chance for such change. Either that or you choose to remain the same. Is it something in that fact you refrain? Could always be at this point. At the change that could happen upon this point. If it is a better one, that is. Could always be a flower about to blossom. Of course, you must nurture that aspiration for it to blossom. Seeing the chance for a monumental change. Either that, or you choose to remain the same. But how is it you can notice? If it is that you are not within the state of mind to notice, for to be in a different view. Things before were not, and could not be seen by you. Maybe a change of attitude might be something, if it is, that is, what it is you wish to do. Or the attitude that you have, or the state of mind. Or both. Could be at the same time. And that fact. What you see, it is defined. Regardless if it's opportunity or it's not. Your mindset can make it to where you see it or you do not. matter if it is. You see it or not. It's there, and it's been there in the spot. Just a shift amongst the winds. A new attitude is all you need to do to begin. For to see the opportunity, you must be in the mindset to see that opportunity. If it is that you are not, you will be blind to it in that spot. But it does not always mean it is the best. If it is something that you are not as good as the rest, at least upon that certain time. But with practice, consistency, and upon what it is with that you wish to see, can be a chance to see changes for what it is you currently have, and for what it is with your gifts you can do and have. Only with practice, only with consistency, only by not paying attention to useless comments that are as salt that is thrown upon the ground. It is not substance, so it is the only thing you can do, throw it upon the ground. And trample upon what it is that has been said. For there is no proof amongst what it is that that comment, or the one that happened to say it, there is no proof upon what it is that they have say it. Seeing a chance for change. Not choosing the one that useless comments, they say. Not paying attention as if you do not hear. Or these negative things you do not hear. For that. And with the correct mindset. The correct attitude as it is that couples with the mindset. Anything that is against what it is you wish to get. Why pay attention? Pay attention to it. They do not know, they have not accomplished. Nor is it that they even try to accomplish. For ones that have and ones that do, they only have positive words to say to you. Unless it is there's something you do not do. Only criticism that is correctly done. Can that effort be won? For ones that do not, they need to learn to hold. For their efforts have and will be, and continue to be old. For they do not know the edge of the knife that they use. Especially if it is a sword that you happen to use. For their meaningless words take too many. With a sword, you do not have to say too many. Only but one, and a single swipe. All the damage is done. Seeing a chance for opportunity. Seeing a chance to remain the same if it is. It is not one that is within your lane. For whatever it is that you have already presented yourself as, you should remain the same. Seeing a chance for a change. But it is not a good one. Useless comment, for you know it is not a good one. Seeing an opportunity to be. Seeing the chance for a change in the winds you see. Pay attention to only ones that uplift. For all others, they do not know what it is they speak. For they are ones that have not accomplished, and in that area they are weak. If it is that you listen to one that is either currently trying, and their resolve and all others things are not dying, and never could, for they have the persistence and the habits to where it never could, and know upon what it is that they do is good, then why would change not occur? Seeing the opportunity for this change of winds can be kind of hard when it is that you do not know the direction upon those winds. But with bold persistence, you can handle about any resistance. Because the relative force with your persistence is stronger than the wind that causes its resistance. Seeing the chance. Noticing if it's good or bad, just by a glance. Knowing when one's wish for you to be distracted by certain things they do as this. Makes it very easy to conquer upon this. For you already have what it is you need. No matter mindset or attitude, or consistency, devotion, dedication, and demonstration. Only ones that truthfully believe show all three upon what it is that they wish to achieve. No matter personal growth or business. But here's my question. With a chance of change, do you make it your business? Do you do what it takes to have the development that you need in this place? Or is it that you do not? Do you have things that you consider in this spot? Considerations that are to be made. Changes. To see chance for changes. To see chances to prove how strong you are. To prove upon the fact how good of a boxer you happen to be and are. Does the battle choose you? Is there Helm's Deep that is defended by you? Regardless upon what it is that useless comments would be said. For without their knowledge, things they may not have noticed, for they do not have the knowledge. Seeing the chance for you to become better. Have you ever paid attention to what kinds of things can make you better? Seeing the chance for something that is beyond what it is that you might think is possible. To seeing for what it is that others might see as impossible. But also seeing the chance to prove to them just by a glance. Knowing upon the fact it's all about the mindset. For ones that think certain things are impossible, they have a lower mindset. Renew your mind. Look for positive things. That is the only thing you wish to find. All others are cast aside. Then, only by sheer effort can you get anywhere, for seeing the chance for change is one thing, but acting upon it, that is the next thing. Seeing the chance and to take it. Why, if it is something better, would you hesitate to take it? Could it be maybe the result within that could be worse, even though it might look good at first? To take in account for things that you've already taken in account. For what it is that you wish to get out of what it is that you wish to grow in. Must know your motivations and why you wish to grow in. Must have a source that is strong enough to last any weather, regardless if it is upon a winter's day or like a midsummer's day. What if it is a better change and you refuse? There's one thing that will be true. A sorrow's deep, and it will be a time that it happens to steep. Decide what it is that it will be. And what it is you wish to be. As it is that you enter your field, what will others see? Will it be something that some do not understand? Maybe something they misunderstand? Maybe it could be a lack of knowledge. Maybe it might be a lack of effort. Persistence. You prove what is internal on the external. So what is it? Do you have a lack of belief in yourself, or do you not? The proof of that is your actions and what you say about yourself in this spot. An edge of a knife against yourself you used not. If it is that you are confident and know upon what it is you can accomplish, regardless upon comments of what one says you cannot accomplish, by following through and commitments made by you, seeing a chance of change, or by the lack of these things, unwillingness, you remain the same. Seeing a chance for this change. Why would it be that you would remain the same? Would it be something that your mindset has not been changed? Would it be that disappointment grows because of things that you do not let grow? A flower that you have done nothing with. How do you expect it to blossom if you do not give the nurturement to allow it to blossom? As it is, it starts to open. Many petals are seen as it is that it opens. As it is that you try to do one thing, you may learn upon the fact you can do another, regardless what it is that it started first. Seeing a chance for change, you must act first. Seeing it and doing it are two different things. Maybe if there's one that notices certain things that you do not notice, for you are not on the outside, so you cannot notice about what it is that is a trait about you. That may be because you do not look at it in a different view. Would not be known by you. Things not noticed by ones that do not take the time to notice. At the end or at the start. At the day's end or the day's start. What kinds of things upon the next day or the previous will you notice? About things that maybe someone else happened to notice? Are they things that help? Are they things that don't? Is it something that you know not, so pursue you don't? Seeing the chance for change. Or choosing to let it remain the same. Many ideas must pay attention to comments. Sift through them. Do not just automatically listen to them. No matter where the source might be. Do you have orienting things for what it is that you wish to see? Do you know where upon what it is that you do you currently are? Do you know the distance? Do you know how far? Do you have a hardened heart? For at that point, this aspiration you will not start. Or not listen to comments that are good. Not all comments are bad. Do you treat your passion like a lover? Your aspiration should be almost as a lover. Don't feel good what it is you're not working upon to have a better relationship. Do you guard that love and protect that relationship? No matter if it is one's wish for you to stop or not. Do you do it when it is that you do not wish to or not? Seeing the chance for change and acting are two different things. The proof of these are things that are seen. For walking it out every day. There are some that refuse to act upon any day, and then wonder why it is no success comes their way. How can you expect to make progress if you do not take the steps to make that progress? No matter if it is a mountain that stands before you. If you believe all things are possible, not for long can it stand before you. Along with your mindset and the attitude of what it is you wish to get. Flesh or not, it will not stand before you in this spot. You will stand upon the top, with your foot upon the peak that is the top. No matter if it was cast aside and had to move, or it was unwilling to move. Your decision makes it to where it is underneath you, regardless of its decision. With your persistence constantly worked out by doing the basics. With your repetition to prove you know the basics. To see the chance of change and to stand before it. Do you try to go over it, or do you turn around before it? The struggle is real. It does not have any curb appeal. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But because of their lack of the habits, in order to conquer that, they stand before it. Never try to climb it. Turn around and then complain about what it is that happened with that. Have confidence and belief. Incredible things you can see. If it is just what it is you believe internal is shown to everyone else in the external. With your persistence and application, anything is accomplishable if you have the mindset for this application. But for some, they might think that you're an ugly duckling. But in truth, you are a swan. They just do not see it, for that is that you are a swan. Or it is that they do, and they wish for you to be a duckling. Just as it is they are. For birds of a feather, they flock together. But you're a swan. Do not act like you are not. You know, upon the fact, there's beauty there, even if one does not see upon what it is, for they cannot comprehend, for they do not have the knowledge that they need to do such things. Misinformed upon what it is they see with such things. Seeing a chance for change. Listening to the ducklings, you will remain the same. In case you do not get what I mean, I'll explain it. Plain English. In that story, if you notice, there are multiple ducks, but there's only one swan. Now, does this sound like, with the ducks, the way that they acted, does that sound like the 98%? Does the swan seem like the 2? But you were amongst the 98. They don't accept them because they are not amongst the 98. They are a swan, not a duck. So, you pursuing your dreams, your aspirations, whatever it is, as far as personal growth or whatever it may be. These others that, these kinds of things they do not wish to see. They are the ducklings. You are the swan. You must look for another that happens to be a swan. Seeing the chance for change, but choosing to be around friends that do not wish to have such change is not the way. For at that point, you remain the same. You have not renewed your mind every day. You have not been renewed. By changing what it is that is your mindset and attitude. Makes it to where certain ones will not like you, for they are like wolves that circle around when it is that you wish to leave. If you do not know about wolves, they are pack animals. Do we not act the same? One tries to leave, what do they do? So these ones that have the wrong mindset, that is not in a way that you are able to grow, what must you do? Seeing the chance of change, but refusing because of your friends. If it is they are not good friends, if it is as a toxic relationship, reference to an intermission video, on that particular, then there's something you need to do in particular with the friends. Another good example of what you can do as far as this. If it is as if, for your friends, they do not give you substance, what do you do with salt that is not substance? Cast it aside because it is not something that helps. Can always get new friends. A midsummer's day. For this particular with the bad friends. It is more like when once upon a harsh winter's day. At least as far as the weather upon that day. Does not mean you do not find relationship in those days. Because even amongst that, that was right before. As far as winter, it is right before what? Spring? Could have been the last day of winter. You know how it is when something starts to end. A lot of times it is the worst. Before, right before it ends. Sound familiar to relationship? In case you don't know, that's actually a story that I did. The Harsh Winter's Day. In that representation, it was the last day of winter in that particular thing, as far as relationship goes. Because the very first day of spring started the next day. That's on another channel that I have that I will not specifically say because I've already have that on my content anyway. If it is you pay attention. I have referenced it in a stream though once. In fact, I did most of the story. It's even on one of my shorts. Actually. The I wanna stay! Can't remember which one that is, but I have referenced that a few times. But seeing the chance for change, is it something that you will refuse? when it is that you notice it's something good for you, why would it be that you would refuse? Do you know the answer to that question? Do you not? Have you ever made considerations in this spot? What is best for you? For what it is that is the result that you wish for you? Do you wish to be one that is known for what it is you have done? Do you wish to just be here and be done? The second option is the saddest. Because so many people, at that point, they will be the saddest. Because there will be ones that you are not able to meet. Certain things you will not be able to see. An impact that you could have had. That you chose to listen to the ducklings and you did not have. Seeing the chance to change. And choosing not to remain the same, is not renewing your mind every day. For if you are not getting better, you are getting worse. For if it is that you are not part of the solution, very possibly you are part of the problem. For you allow what it is that is the problem. Without a changing of mindset, very rare will there be success you get. Must be determined. With your actions, the result you get. That is what it is that you get. For you have determined by wishing to stay with friends that are not good ones. You wish to not have the best end. Not have the best of what it is you could. Not have a true relationship that is actually good. Seeing the chance for change. Choosing to go that different way. Or choosing to remain the same. Never know upon your relationships if it is as a spring day. That is representation of growth. New relationships and a lot of growth. A midsummer's day where the perfect weather is like that every day. To sustain upon what it is that is your relationship. Or it might be fall, as it is that the leaves begin to fall. As it is ones that might be in relationship with. Start to think about not having for with you relationship with. And then amongst a winter's day, when all that possibility for relationship has gone away, seeing the chance for change. Will it be that you remain the same? Or will it be that you will change for what it is that is best for you? Only you are the one that can choose these kinds of things and do. Well, it seems I need to take an intermission. Apparently somebody else has already taken theirs, but you can take yours if you need to. Be a great time to think of comments and questions and all that. I'll answer any if there are some. If you like my motivational poetry thing I do, you can always look it up. GamingWithNac, Inspirations of a Gamer. I have a total of 4 volumes right now. I'm about to work on the 5th one. Rare opportunities, if it is that you happen to see some, might want to weigh out if it is worth doing so, or if it's not. Sometimes it is good, but sometimes it's not. Must consider if it's a good one, or it could be a bad one, or the extra that is involved for that particular opportunity may make it to where it is not actually the best opportunity. But then again, if it's a one-in-a-lifetime chance, might want to jump on that without a glance. Depends on where it is you stand. As far as status and other things as it is you stand. Rare opportunities only but come and are utilized by only but some. Never know if it could be good. Never know if the hassle can make it to where it's not as good. Just depends upon what it is that you are willing and able to take. But they are once in a lifetime, so do not make that mistake. If it is that you are bold enough, if it is your experience happens to be old enough, if it is that it would be an unwise decision not to take, then for a rare opportunity, you should, without mistake. But if it is that you are unprepared, even if the opportunity happens to be rare, it's much easier to just wait. Because to be in a place where you're not ready for it shows you could not do what it is you need to for it. But always to be prepared makes it to where if there is a rare opportunity there, you'd be an idiot if it was you were not to take it right there. They are kind of hard to determine. Sometimes take a few seconds and just determine, would you be able to do it? Even though it is a rare opportunity to do it. To not be able to fulfill what it is that is within that opportunity. Probably not the wisest, even though it's a rare opportunity. They don't just come out of nowhere, though. Maybe there is something that shows that you do not know is there, for what it is you might be capable of, even if it is that you do not realize that you are capable of. As long as it fits within what it is that is your field, profession and craft, that is, in the middle, and more specific. Depends upon if it is that your craft is very specific. If it's one that's within your field but not your profession, depends upon if it is you wish to continue to be within your craft and profession. It's one that's close, as long as it's within what it is you do and it's close. If it's far, then why bother? It's more that a rare opportunity at that point. You do not bother. Or it's one that you are incapable of at that point, if it is far away from what it is that you do at this point. But if it were to come, it would show upon the fact what it is if you weren't, what other kind of opportunities could come. It's one of those things where if you were to work, that rare opportunity could come again for the showing of your work. If you don't get what I mean, I'll explain it plainly. Say it's within your field, but not within your profession or your craft, and you get the opportunity. But it is far from what it is that you do. But it is offered to you. It shows something you could possibly work upon to become something that you did not know that you could if it were you to work on that specific. For if there was another one, you could very easily do the other one. It's pretty simple to understand. But it also shows what another might think that you are able to do, if that work was put in by you. A rare opportunity to do it as it is that you are not ready would make it harder for it is that you are not ready. But within what it is that you do, if an opportunity similar, but closer to what it is you do, were to come to you, you'd be an idiot not to do. Once in a lifetime for that specific does not mean something other, close to that, within that field that is, will not come to you if it is that you work. From what it is that you can see another, can see something else that you might be able to work. I'll give you a small example. In fact, it has influenced what you are listening to right now. Every single video you've got to see is because of one thing someone said to me. Once I was at work, and someone asked, "What do you think each person's money maker is?" For me, they said it was this. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it looks like I might want to start doing something with that upon that day." Shortly after, started working on it every day after. Now you hear the result of what it is that one thought about me. Before that, evidence of this you did not see. But now it's a constant work. Continuously upon that I happen to work. To be able to say in my specific way. Just a small example of a rare opportunity upon that day. If it was I was to discredit, you would not see for what it is now. So if someone else were to tell you that, what would you do with that? Would you do anything for what it is that another thought about you? If it was something positive. That one person is responsible for what it is that you see now. Just because at that point, I questioned at first. And then I was like, well, okay. Every single person in that place agreed upon that day. Might as well see what happens if I go that way. And now, I do this. Upon the day. An opportunity I did not know that was there. But I also did so without fear. And I still do. Do not care about meaningless comments that are negative towards what it is I do. Do not care if it is that certain people like the way that I do. It's not something that, amongst this rare opportunity, that is decided by you. Very rare to be able to speak as it is. In a setting such as this, or any other, very few would ever speak before another. Rare opportunity. Will you take it? Or will it be that you hesitate before you choose to take it? So, has anyone said, you know, you'd be good at this, or good at that? A random person that has no association with you. Not a friend, not a family member. rare opportunity to take and do something that means something to you and possibly others, as it is they watch what it is you do, or if it is done within private. Do not neglect a rare opportunity, regardless public or private. Back from my intermission, all that good stuff. So seeing the chance for change, is there anything that you're seeing that you can change? Maybe your friends, maybe the situation, maybe your attitude toward what it is that is the situation. Maybe the way that you deal with it, because your response, it matters. Do you think that the situation defines you? It actually doesn't. It's what you do. It's not what problems and other things that have faced you. That's what you declare with your actions, amongst your words, if it is you have done that as well. So seeing the opportunity or seeing the chance for change, are you choosing to remain the same? Maybe for what it is a friend or one you think is happened to say? But ponder this for a minute, at least one day. Is anything that they happen to say positive towards what it is that could be from the result if you were to continue that could be? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it something later, if you pursue or choose not to? Would the individual that looks at you in the mirror be happy? You know you. Maybe fine and dandy now. But what happens when you're not able to do what it is that you are able to do now? No longer do you have the chance to see change, or the chance to see it. What it is that has already happened is what it happened to be it. Will you regret it? Will you not? Seeing the chance not to regret what it is that you have done. Some take it, some do not. Some become weary and they choose to stop. How many times have you had a situation that you wish you would have done something, but you did not? Seeing the chance for change, but choosing not. Have you came across similar ones to that in this spot? Have you not? Acting upon your aspirations and dreams, do you wish to regret not? Seeing a chance for something better, will you take it, for it is better? May not be easy to create the habits. If it was, everyone would do it. But once you get past that, you just naturally do it. So will you or will you not? Will you see the chance of change and pick not? Or will you know that it's a better situation in that spot? Will it be something that you regret later? Will it not? Do you not know that you are able to affect other people as well? As far as the positivity that happens to dwell. For ones that might think, oh, that idea, it is still, or it is unique. Would you rather take and be yourself, or pay attention to the ugly duckling and instead of yourself? Not noticing that they are not like you. Why not embrace for what it is that is you? Seeing the chance of change. As it is, the winds begin to change. Will you go with it, or will you go against? Is it that, even if there was, with your persistence and practical application of repetition, it would not matter if it was? For the relative force behind what it is that you would do, it counters the wind and it is the one that propels you. As if it is the wind was not blowing at all. Seeing the chance for change, but determining that it is not the proper change. Because some change is not good, while others are good. Do you have an orienting force? Not regardless of how the change of winds go against and have their force. That you have a foundation that stands through all, regardless what it is that all. Can you steadfast? Because of this, have the building blocks been put together properly? Can they be shaken, but they will not move, for they are built properly? No matter the weather or the season, no matter above or below, smoothing its reason. Can this foundation stand, regardless what it is that beats against? With an orientating force and a source that is firm, you can stand, for it is your foundation is firm. Seeing the chance of change and realizing it is not the proper change. Knowing when it is that these things are true. Knowing that your morals, they are important to who it is that is you. To uphold them is important, for with your actions you prove upon what it is that is important. And you prove upon the fact what has been internalized, for it is shown external, for it has actually been internalized. For only for what it is you believe inside can you show upon the outside. Seeing the chance for change, but determining if it is the right and proper change. Regardless of what comes or stays. Regardless what might be a change. Knowing the difference between one that is good and knowing one that is not. Knowing by doing that, your flower cannot blossom in this spot. Choosing for what comments of what could possibly be a swan or a duckling. Which of the two are you? The swan or the duckling? One that stays with the herd, or one that is unique? Are you amongst the 98%? That actions are weak, for they have not made the decision. Some might say it's a hard decision, but to dispute that, if it is that you truthfully want something, you will go out and get it. That brand new phone comes out. The brand new whatever it is that you're super psyched about. You do everything within your power to get it. How is that any different from your dream and aspiration? Hmm? You have to decide. And then, the actions are what it is you have decided. are shown upon the outside. Easy as that. It is not hard. You have control over your body. So don't complain about what you have not chosen to do with your body. As far as your actions, that is. If you have put in your effort, then at least you can say you've put in your effort. If you have not, quick question. Will you regret that in this spot? Because you have chosen to act not? Seeing the chance for change and choosing to remain the same, or do what it is required to actually make that change. It is not that hard. Really, it isn't. Forming the habits to where you do it consistently. After you put in the repetition to create your habits that are successful. Successful habits. You realize there's different type of habits, right? There are success habits, self-sabotaging habits. There's multiple different types. So what kind of habits are you creating or following? You don't believe me that we're creatures of habit? Write down every single thing you do in a single day. Doesn't matter what you do. Write it down for 3 days and see what happens. You'll notice you have habits. Like some, they'll get up, start the coffee first thing. Some will get up, do whatever they're going to do that they always do at that exact time or when they first get up. You go to work, you have that too. Have habits of what it is that you do to your routine of what you do. So why can't you make routines that help you to be successful? Then, if you just follow that routine, what happens? Not easy? I don't know about that. No matter if you're doing it for results or something else. The easiest way to get yourself to do it is not to pay attention to useless comments of people that are not trying to achieve anything. Somebody that is trying to achieve will make different comments than ones that are not. Pay attention to the ones that are, not the ones that are not. Many times their comments, by the way, if they're negative ones, either A, they're a troll, because of the fact that they are either mad that you are pursuing theirs, or you are pursuing yours, and they're not pursuing theirs, they just don't know it yet. Or they're mad because you're being successful and they're not. Sound a lot like the ugly duckling thing, huh? In fact, about these habits, success habits, there are some people that know how to do something specific with that. They can tell you how far you will be in however amount of time if you continue to do those habits. Did you know there's people that can do that? To tell you where you will be in a certain amount of time. Just by those. So what kind of habits are you doing? Apparently that's my big kick right now, but are they ones that help you or not? Seeing the chance for change, creating new habits, is that seeing a chance for change? But if it is that you don't do such things as that, is it choosing to remain the same? Knowing when it is that your friends are ones that only wish for you to stay amongst them, not to make any progress and separate from them, what will they do? Make comments. Be a good time to see a chance for a change. Would it not? Seeing the chance but taking it are two different things. Amongst what it is that is your aspiration or your dreams, what of these are seen? Do you continuously continue to do it? Regardless of one saying that you should not do it? That, technically speaking, don't know what they're talking about. Because if they were successful, they would be asking you, what are you doing? How long you doing it for? How long you been doing it? How much do you do it? Where do you want to be? How much work will you put in to get there? Giving you support or asking questions to help encourage you. compared to somebody that has not accomplished anything and has no intention to. So, which is the better friend than the one you should listen to? No matter if they're friends or family. If you actually wish to get it, well, you'll be able to tell who's helping and who's not. So seeing the chance of change, do you choose to remain the same? Or do you make new habits to make it to where it is not the same? Creation of them may be hard. Many hours you might think that it's hard. But if it is that you actually wish to get far, for creating these, you cannot do with a high-speed car. You must do it slow and steady. Must first build your foundation so it is steady. Once it is, you can build upon that. Possibilities are endless. After it is, you choose to do such things as that. For with your habits, what it is that you do, your actions that are projected by you, which you should know how to project properly, by the way. Repeated upon every day, with repetition. Practicing the basics as it is you do this repetition will produce upon habits. Upon you reviewing these habits, taking in account for ones that are good and bad, choosing for which ones will stay and which ones will not last, depending on the repetition, how long and how consistent the repetition will result upon what it is that is your results. For doing this repetition, doing the practicing of being consistent in an allotted amount of time, it is the compound interest of what it is you get at that time for things that are built on top of itself. Multiply more and more as it is built more upon itself, to where it is a structure that can handle any weather, for it has the foundation to handle upon any weather. But it is as light as a feather, so it is not a burden that weighs upon you, for at that point it is done correctly by you. For when it is that it is a burden, it is that you have done it incorrectly, for it is at that point a burden. Extra responsibility is about all that is the burden. But with habits that had been created, you can handle any burden because this foundation has been created. For it is set there to be, intended to carry the weight of what burden it might see. For your consistency, walking out the basics, persistence, scheduling for what it is that you need to do with persistence, the burden becomes very light. As like a feather, that is how light. Utilizing upon what it is that is your time, and what kind of effort you wish to see amongst your time, where it is you wish to go, the target you aim for, and the direction you go. Even that happens to lighten the load. For at that point, you have your map and compass that points to where you need to go. All you need to do is just go. Even if it is that there is hassle. To count in the unexpected counters such things as a hassle. That would be classified as a burden. For accounting for such things helps you to counter any burden. For it is not that it is a chore. With your passion and treating it like a lover, you wish to have it even more. For only ones that do not like upon what it is they do consider having to do actions a burden for what it is they have to do. For they are not passionate about anything. That is why they do not accomplish anything. Because they see it as a hassle. But they do not get the blessings that they could get. Because they see it as a burden. When in truth, it is not a burden. No matter what it is that you think is a burden, pursuing your dreams, to do what it is to do that, is that a burden? If it is, you are chasing after the wrong thing. For there should be joy and happiness regardless what you have to endure for that to be seen. As far as fulfilling and living your dream. If you see something as a burden, it's something that you do not wish to do. For it is as a hassle for you. Is pursuing your dreams, is this something true to you? Or is it something that you actually wish to do? If it is a dream of yours, it cannot be a burden. Must have your source. The reason why you do. To handle any weather or anything that comes against you. Fear of failed attempts. Not a wise thing to fear failed attempts. They are amongst the catalyst that allows you to learn what it is you need to be successful in the next. Regardless if it is failed attempts. Take in account for what it is you did wrong on that attempt. In the present situation, you can easily change for what it is that is a tipping point. When it is you turn the tables. A crucial matter when it is you choose to turn the tables. But following your commitments. Doing upon what it is you have declared and said you will do with your commitments. Staying amongst in your lane. Not looking upon what another one happens to be doing in their lane. Even if it is that it happens to look similar or the same. It does not mean that it is one that is amongst your lane. Within profession or field, or the craft. Make sure you make a foundation that lasts. Seeing the chance of change and refusing to. Or doing upon what it is that is needed to. Few and far between. For these things they have not seen, or do not comprehend for misunderstandings upon what it is. Not always easy to look and see. Chances for change, for a better situation you can see. But the mindset is one way amongst that you can get. The attitude you have as it is that you happen to pursue. But knowing when there's certain ones amongst what it is that might encounter you. To know when it is that you say yes is yes and no is no. Knowing when it is that you are telling them that they need to learn when to let it go. Know when it is that your efforts mean nothing, for they have already said yes or no. It is not as it is they have said nothing. To know upon at some time the attitude toward such things, for some may seem harsh at that time. But when it is, you've already said it at least once or a single time. And they do not take the answer. Do not hesitate to remind them your yes or no answer. Until it is that they finally get your yes is yes and your no is no. And tell them for whatever answer you give, so that they know that your answer remains the same. regardless what they do or try to say. Seeing the chance of change and realizing it is not the better change. Knowing for them when it is for them turn. To learn that they might as well move on for the effort, the result from that. Because of your yes being yes and your no being no. The proof of that is and has already shown. Or if it is that you have a decision such as this to make, I'll give you a small example so you can understand what it is and why I say what it is I say. When I post my videos, I have multiple people wishing for me to advertise through them. But I say I only go through, and my actions also, that I only go through a certain company. But they will not leave it alone. So, either A, they end up getting blocked, or B, I just stop talking to them. Or I remind them and say the same answer. I actually made a video about that is yet to post. Knowing when to walk away. Or turn away. May seem crude or rude. But when I give an answer, it's the answer. Don't matter what you think. Don't matter what you try to prove. Like my YouTube, for example. I use VFly only. I give that response. They try to speak to me most of the time. And I get irritated. Because they're not listening. And because they didn't listen, they lost all opportunity they could have had if I changed my mind. Anyway. Looks like I'm out of time. Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So, until next time.